Imagine tucking your 7-year-old son into bed, and the next day, he's just gone. No goodbye, no note, just an empty bedroom, and a voicemail saying his mother never showed up for a custody hearing. For Abdul Khan, this wasn't a fear. It was reality. In 2017, his little boy Abdul Aziz vanished with his non-custodial mother. Police believed he'd been taken, possibly out of the state, maybe out of the country. And then, nothing. Days turned into months, months into 7 long years, until a random trespassing call at a quiet home in Colorado blew this case wide open, and officers opened a car door to find a teenager who had no idea he was one of America's most wanted missing children. This is the 7-year search for Abdul Aziz Khan, a parent's worst nightmare. Welcome back to Unsolved True Events. In today's video, we're breaking down how a routine police call, a Netflix documentary, and a father who never gave up finally came together to bring Abdul Aziz home. All sources are based on public reports and news coverage. Remember, everyone is innocent until proven guilty in court. The disappearance. Our story starts in Atlanta, Georgia, in late November 2017. 7-year-old Abdul Aziz Khan, known as Aziz, was a bright, energetic kid, a student who loved his family and his routines. At the time, his parents were struggling through a custody dispute. According to police and court records, Aziz's mother, Rabia Khalid, did not have legal custody. She was expected in court for a hearing on November 27, 2017, but she never showed up. Instead, investigators say she disappeared, allegedly taking Aziz with her, along with her husband, Elliot Blake Bourgeois. When Abdul, Aziz's father, realized what had happened, the nightmare began. He wasn't just a dad in a custody battle anymore. He was the father of a missing child. An Amber Alert was issued, and the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children quickly got involved. Age-progressed images were created, trying to show what Aziz might look like as he grew older in hiding. But there were no obvious leads. The family had vanished, no confirmed sightings, no verified phone calls, nothing concrete to chase. For investigators, it was like the earth had swallowed them whole. A cold case in the spotlight. As the months turned into years, the case risked going cold. But Abdul refused to let that happen. He kept pushing, kept speaking, kept hoping that someone, somewhere, would recognize his son. In 2022, the case reached a much bigger audience. Aziz's disappearance was featured on Netflix's Unsolved Mysteries in an episode called Abducted by a Parent. The episode laid out the story. A young boy allegedly taken by his non-custodial mother. A father begging the world to look at his son's face and not forget him. And a simple question, where is Aziz? The show highlighted how parental abductions can be just as devastating and just as dangerous as abductions by strangers. Families are torn apart, children are uprooted, and often they grow up under new names, new identities, sometimes not even knowing that anyone is searching for them. After the episode aired, tips came in, but still, no confirmed recovery. For Abdul, every day without answers was another day of torture, wondering if his son was safe, if he was being cared for, if he even remembered his old life. The world moved on. New cases appeared in the news. But somewhere out there, a boy named Aziz was growing up in the shadows. The call that changed everything. Then in February 2025, hundreds of miles away from Atlanta, in Highlands Ranch, Colorado, something completely unrelated happened, at least on the surface. A homeowner noticed something strange on their security cameras. People entering a vacant house that was listed for sale. They called the police to report a possible trespassing or burglary. Deputies from the Douglas County Sheriff's Office responded. When they arrived, they found 2 adults leaving the property, a woman and a man. They claimed they were there for real estate work, but something felt off. Their story didn't quite line up. Outside, in a vehicle parked at the home, deputies discovered 2 children, one of them a teenage boy. What started as a routine trespassing call slowly turned into a 5-hour investigation. Officers checked IDs, cross-checked names, and dug deeper into who these people really were. Eventually, they found a match. The woman was identified as Rabia Khalid, who had an outstanding warrant for allegedly kidnapping her own son back in 2017. And the teenage boy in the car? He was Abdul Aziz Khan, now 14 years old. Missing for over 7 years, deputies had literally stumbled into one of the country's high-profile missing child cases by answering a simple trespassing call.
As the deputies began to investigate further, they began to uncover inconsistencies in the suspect's story, and their work led them to a shocking discovery that one of the suspects, Rabia Khalid, was actually a fugitive wanted for kidnapping, leading to the realization that 14-year-old Abdul Aziz Khan had been abducted back in 2017.
Arrests, charges, and a family reunited. Following the discovery, both Rabia Khalid and her husband, Elliot Blake Bourgeois, were arrested. According to public records and news reports, they now face multiple charges, including second-degree kidnapping, identity theft, forgery, trespassing, and related offenses. At the time of recording this video, these are allegations. The legal process is still ongoing, and they are presumed innocent until proven guilty in court. Aziz and the younger child were placed into protective custody while authorities and child welfare workers determined the safest plan for their future. For Aziz's father, the news was almost too much to process. After 7 years of hoping, fearing the worst, and begging the world not to forget his son, he finally received the call he'd been waiting for. Aziz had been found alive. In public statements, the family expressed overwhelming gratitude to the deputies, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and to everyone who kept sharing Aziz's story. They also asked for privacy as they tried to rebuild their lives and reconnect with a boy who has spent half his life away from home.
It's a 19 warrant, updated in 23. So
there it is.
Yep, that's her.
What this case teaches us, the story of Abdul Aziz Khan shows just how complicated missing child cases can be, especially when the alleged abductor is a parent. It took a global platform like Netflix, a father who never stopped searching, and 2 sharp-eyed deputies responding to a simple trespass call to finally bring him back into the system and onto the path home for many other families. That ending hasn't come yet. If you want us to cover more solved cases like this, or still unsolved parental abductions, let me know in the comments. And if you ever see a missing child alert or a face you recognize, take a second look. You never know when you might be the person who ends a family's worst nightmare. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video so more people hear Aziz's story. Thanks for watching.